Just give me a moment. Nobody's here. That doesn't really matter, I guess. I just want to make sure that YouTube thing is running all right. Okay, so I should be hearing some audio in YouTube here. I probably don't need to worry about Rumble. Okay. And okay, awesome. Okay, yeah, sounds good. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just take a chance, and I'm going to keep these closed. Well, actually, let's check the chat out first. Here. Chat, 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 chat. Okay, can we get a level? Even though it's not a level, really, it's just... Okay. The chat works, so the only thing I have on is that, and we have 2 viewers, which is cool. I don't know where the viewers are coming from right now because I don't have the YouTube or Rumble window open. I just went and made sure and checked, and I decided I wasn't going to go ahead and advertise today. Okay, let's switch to desktop, and oh, I have a cloth that I cover my webcam with just in case. Not that anybody's ever would ever hack into my system, but just in case something happened and it were to turn on, I have a little thing covering it. Anyways, here let's go to webcam for just a where is it? Where's webcam? Okay, just for a brief second. Well, yeah, I'm just kind of curious. Other than game designers, um, on Liberia.chat um in IRC, Liberia.chat network, and the game designers channel is the only one that I said I'm going online about because Rook always seems to come to the stream um, when he gets home from work. He puts it on or whatever in the background, and then the other couple that are there, they see me whatever talk or do whatever, and they may or may not come into the deal. So I'm just seeing if there's any if I get any more than like a couple. Actually, where is? Wait a second. What happened to? Okay. Anyway, anywho, um, actually, let's refresh that because that's still off out of sync. And let's go back to chat. Okay. Okay, so apparently there's only one person in here now. There was 2. Now there's just 1. And all I'm just doing is just to see if I didn't post in Discord and on X and even in IRC every single day or every single weekday that I stream, um, if anybody would come in, you know. And obviously there might be 1 or 2 that kind of know me and would kind of expect to be in there. But right now it doesn't look like there is. So um, I'm not that worried right now. Today will be kind of a normal day. Um, Tomorrow my dad has an appointment, so I may or may not stream tomorrow. And then Wednesday I have an appointment where I may or may not stream on Wednesday. So we will see here. We'll see if I can get to actually streaming on Tuesday and Wednesday. But it looks like we'll might be kind of busy, or I might find a way of working around it if Dad doesn't mind when we get back. So I'll have my streams on at different times, depending, you know. Anyways, so that's what's up. So if I see two people there now again, so we'll see. We'll see if I get my usual three or four without advertising, because it seems like this it seems like the only way I get viewers is if I remind everybody every day. And I've been doing. I'm up to this is 177. So this is stream 177. So this is the 177th day of development streaming. Um, which is kind of interesting because actually let's see something here. What's 365 days, 364 days a year, whatever, something like that, 365, except for leap years. We'll say 365 minus 177 equals 188. So I'm almost halfway through a year's worth. And I mean actual year's worth of actual streams, not a year as far as the day goes. We're actually almost I don't know, we're at 9 or 10 months or something, so we're actually over that. But the actual stream, the weekday streams that I do, um, the game development ones, because I numbered the edit streams separately, so that doesn't really count. It's just these. So so yeah, so I'm about halfway, almost half a year's worth of streams into it, and I still have to like post everywhere to get anybody to come and take a look. So, and as I can see right now, there's only zero. So yeah. Okay. Let's. I guess that's just because I'm on webcam. So whatever. That's that's their loss. Whatever. Um. Okay. So it's evident that there's probably not going to be a lot of people in here, which is okay because I will just I decided I'm not going to advertise it this time. So if somebody wants to find me, they can find me. Otherwise, um, whatever. I guess. Okay. So where were we the last time? Let me pull up favorites and let's open Redot. Somebody call it Redo. Redo? Like Godot? What about Godot? Somebody, one of these deals calls it Gato or something. Ooh, what do I have? I have three errors. What's the three errors here about? Camera 2D. Not enabled. Returning to. Cannot call method get final transform on no value. Ooh, 666. Spooky. Uh, handle zoom. I never had this error before. Very strange. What's the deal with what happens if I run the scene? No, that's not. Wait. Oh, base scene. Where's the layout tool? Layout tool. Let's run the layout tool. Okay. I don't have any errors there. That's interesting. Let's clear the output. Reload, save scene. No errors there. If I close it, what if I start it up again? See what happens. No errors there. I don't. That's okay. That's all right. I mean, whatever. Let's do this. I mean, I'm sure I just did this, but let's do this again. Nope, nothing strange. I have no clue why that had a problem before. Don't get it. Well, maybe they'll show up later. Okay. Um. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to still work on what I'm going to work on, and we're going to go to the 2D space here, and we are going to actually, I'm going to pull up ChatGPT to see where I was at, because I don't remember where I was at, unfortunately. This one. Yeah, okay. So nobody is watching the stream. Just as I suspected. If somebody pings me on RSC, because I know there's one or two people that did like the stream. Um, if they ping me, then I'll tell them, yeah, I'm streaming. But I'm not doing that right now. So nobody watching the stream at all. That's interesting. Let's see. Let's see how long it would take me. 188. Here, I can do this because nobody's watching anyway, so. Or maybe they are, maybe Restream isn't reporting it, but 188 divided by 20 equals 9.4. So another essentially another 9 months to get a year's worth of. It's about that. That is kind of interesting, though. Okay, so what's the total then? It's gonna be 18, right? 365 divided by 20 equals 18.25. 18 months to get a year's worth of streams. That's interesting. Anyways, maybe what I'll do is now I'll probably starting on Thursday. I'll probably advertise again on Thursday. Well, actually, if I get to do a stream tomorrow or Wednesday, I'll put up links to it then. But anyways, I'll resume like I have been, and when I get to 200, I'll decide whether or not it's worth it to continue on streaming. I mean, if nobody watches it, then kind of what's the point, right? Not the game itself. I mean, I still got to make the game. Of course, if I'm not streaming, the streaming part helps keep me on task. In other words, it keeps me um basically working on my game. If I was didn't do this at all and I was just working on my game on my own, um, I may work on it some, and then other times I may not work on it at all. That sort of thing. So, anyways, okay. Came up with the reason why his portrait is missing. I don't really have it before. I was thinking along the lines that what it reveals to Hubert that Max is back portrait missing. Of course, someone that smart would not purposely remove a portrait unless he thinks no one knows it's there or why it was. An ordinary person could walk in and not think anything of it because he doesn't know the backstory. However, this person wouldn't be important anyway. But Hubert knows everything about what's going on, so I figured that what happened to Max before they banished him was took his magic and put it into the portrait and then stuck it on the Hall of Fame so that all the other wizards could keep tabs on it. Him being evil wouldn't have warranted a spot on the Hall of Fame, but his magic is a good reason to keep it there. This also dovetails nicely with the fact that all the other portraits of the wizards all look like they're shocked or surprised. Why? Because he put each one of them into their own paintings once he got his magic back. So he trapped them. And okay, so that's right. Okay, so let's go back here. Um, okay, so what did I put in here? Now all spells are rendered. Hubert has a better pictures. Executed, rendered, whatever. That's a dumb word to use, but I'll leave it. Mysterious hooded figure entered the trophy room from the hall. He then, with a device in one hand, turned it on and opened a mini portal in the air. Then he reached into the portal, which opened inside the case, and with a bit of a struggle, managed to pull out the scepter and then promptly left. The mystery seems to even further, and Hubert decides to proceed to the Hall of Fame, which is the main entrance hall, after entering the antechamber from the front doors. We'll do it like this. Hit one for Hubert to go to the Hall of Fame, okay? And then this is the actual hallway right here. And let's see what's going on. Next, Hubert goes to the Wizard University Hall of Fame and notices one of the portraits missing. He realized it was the portrait of Maximilian Spell, who attempted to take over the other realms before he was banished. Hubert looks at the other portraits and notices the other wizards have shocked or surprised looked on their faces. And then we talk about him going, okay, so there's two things, right? Um, and what I was deciding here, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure I'm up to speed now. Uh, goes concrete in the universe reason for missing portrait. Why can't Mealy explains why he can make Mealy connect the dots, provide subtle world building while other parts look shocked. Plex works as a clever signal to the player reader. The missing portrait isn't just random, it's evidence that Max is back and active, which he can interpret right away. Also gives Max more cunning, deliberate character. He's not just stealing things or breaking rules. Using the Hall of Fame itself as a tool for mischief surveillance. Smart, non obvious. Um, um, Trophy room conclusion. Hall of Fame reveal. We treat as one combined story beat. Yeah. Uh, right. Um, Okay, so he does some stuff in the hallway and he figures some stuff out. In the trophy room, he also figures stuff out. But technically, they're kind of one kind of story beat because one thing leads to the other thing. Um, I'm not sure if I have decided whether or not the these two pages. I did. It is going to be treated as a single story beat, but I don't know if it's going to be like two separate pages or one combined page. Because in general, you're just doing a linear thing. So um, at the end here, after you've did the three spells, then you have enough to make a conclusion, and then you decide to go on. So this says the conclusion that tells you about going into the hallway. Oh, I'm not sure how I want to do this. To be fair, um, let me think for a moment. Do that. Um, and then to give a player a little bit more agency, almost could. Hmm, not sure. So we find out it's Max. Max steals a scepter. Um, I'm not sure. Uh, I'm a little sleepy for one thing. Second 12 p.m. ET. Trying to remember what exactly decided on. We'll see if it gives me an idea here. Vision Scepter was still in the BMX device and portal. It's going to transition the Hall of Fame story beat. The reason Max banished his manuscript was stripped and sealed into the portrait was kept in the Hall of Fame so the Wizards could monitor him being evil would have warranted a fame spot, but the portrait wasn't about honor, it was about containment. Okay. Now that the portrait is gone, Max has reclaimed his magic. The other portrait show Wizards looking shocked and surprised which you linked to Max trapping them in their own paintings after regaining his power. He ended by saying the explanation was enough for you to work with. Um, these two pages represent some story information that aren't directly actionable. Hubert might not know what the robed figure who the hooded figure is, but he does suspect Max, and then the hallway confirms it. Um, give me some ideas for some city voices, and I'll decide then. Yeah, because I'm still looking at it like, should I just leave it as two static story beats, or should I, vary the thing a little bit? Because he's gonna know what's going on, and I don't know if that gives the player any incentive for wanting to click on something in particular. Normally, there's a question or there's a thing. be someone else, but only Max had the brains to build that. Figures and gadgets, wonderful, just wonderful. Hall of Fame portrait bill. Of course, Max. Classic. His portrait pulled the magic and now he's claimed it back. Max always did enjoy a dramatic exit. Pity for the rest of us. These don't change what happens next, but they help the player choose he were to avoid serious, thoughtful, or sardonic. Um, no, that's okay, but how do they work as choices and then what um what is the result of those choices? Because I mean I could put the deal in and somebody would just pick something, and then what I do, I repeat it. Because usually what happens is I have some information or problem or something that I present, and then you want to have do this, or do this. You give the 2 to 3 reactions. Player clicks one, and then it leads to a nearly identical next page that continues the story. Differs before it rejoins the main flow. Has Max written all over it. Shows Hubert narrowing his eyes, convinced. Leads to he clenched fist, already suspecting where this trail could lead, even toward the Hall of Fame. This could be someone else, but only Max had the brains to build that. And I'm going to try not to actually copy ChatGPT's actual results. I'm going to try to craft some of my own, but at the same time, I use the same thing. He were weighing the possibilities. Leads to his caution lingered, but suspicion painted him in one direction. Turned toward the Hall of Fame. Okay. I realize that, and that's not a problem. Was just wondering what the resultant text would be. Yeah, I just wondering what the resultant text would be. Okay, I think I have enough to go on. So also, this is the event pass, which means no real narrative. So I'll have to I put it matter of factly. Hit one if Hubert considers this Max's style. And honestly, the players don't really know who Maximilian's spell is at this point either, so hit two if Hubert considers Max was only one of a few of the smartest people that could pull this off, and that sort of thing. Also, Hubert knows what happened to Max, but the player does not. I have to be careful at what reactions I produce. Okay. You don't need to dress it up. You just keep a clean, functional player facing without spilling secret knowledge. Here next only someone very clever could have handed us here grumbles, mysterious gadgets, and hooded figures, resulting in text. Matter of fact, please load if Hubert leans towards blaming Max. When Hubert leans towards blaming Max, though he cannot be certain. Hubert acknowledges required intelligence beyond most wizards. Hubert reacts with sarcasm, finding the situation frustrating. Okay. Yeah, that's a thing I should note here. Anybody watching the stream later? Um, huh. Boy, there's a lot of stuff in here. This is going to be a reveal, right? This is a reveal. This is actually a reveal to Hubert. Um, how do I relay this information to the player? Okay. I might have to put a sort of like a search bar kind of a thing um, to my layout tool so I can actually go to a specific room if I'm looking and seeing like how many things are mentioned or whatever. Okay. For magical schools. Okay, and then doors and gnomes, right? Okay. Uh, uh, oh. Uh-oh. This is actually should be deleted here because this is that was part of the original story beat. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we're gonna save the data here. Hmm. Okay, so this is where we're gonna have to do I guess some exposition, right? Throw that away. Okay, see, no, see, there's nobody in here right now, which is kind of interesting, I guess. Not that interesting, but kind of interesting. Let me look at this again because nobody's watching this. Good, that's all right. That's better picture messages. Shovel. Hmm. Oh, I guess. Okay. Guess that just means that restream isn't recording it, which is cool. Um, maybe I should reopen the YouTube and only streams. Because if this is if they're actually somebody in there, and it could just be the one, like Fender, you're on Rumble, so and someone may or may not be in YouTube on my live stream in YouTube here. So let's check this out here. Let's just look at it. And what does it say? It says one watching in YouTube. Okay, and then I go over here to this one. Of course, it says one's watching in Rumble. So technically speaking, I have two watching, and but Restream isn't showing that for some reason. Okay, that's cool though. So Fender, thanks for watching. Um, but I'm still kind of right. No, nobody else except for you guys in RC, which kind of see me every day, basically. Even though I'm actually am in game dev on the same network, so some of those guys watch. At least one person usually watches, and um, at least okay, at least one person watches in there, but they're like too interested in their chat or whatever, and it's not a big deal, but it's giving me, I'm kind of gauging here a little bit how you know if anybody's watching, and so that's kind of what I was. Well, okay, so now there's two in Rumble and one in YouTube, which is so now it shows us three on Restream. Restream is now showing it properly. That's kind of interesting. Anyways, that's cool. Three is fine. Um, because there's at some point I'm not gonna be like posting very frequently, posting links. I might bring it down to once a week maybe, but I was just doing this initially to get people interested enough to just to kind of come on their own, and then that way maybe there be some word of mouth or something, which doesn't look like it's happening. At least not right now. At least not until maybe not until phase one is completely finished or something, or maybe until I got enough progress where it looks like, you know, it's really like I've really got some stuff done. Anyways, I still have about 40 minutes here, and so let's continue on. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to if you're listening, watching, or whatever. I'm trying to figure out. Thanks, thanks, Fender. Um, I said it in IRC too. I still have the weird thing, it's just weird talking to the camera and then maybe only hearing a response once or twice in chat, and I have to actually look over to my monitor over here to see that. Anyways, so okay, so I'm trying to figure out whether or not I can add a little bit more flavor to these, or if I should just leave them as these kind of dry story beats. They're two linear deals. In other words, this one is the result of the spells, the reconstruction spells that Hebert was running to reconstruct the crime, and he said that now he has a conclusion, and then there's that, and then he goes on into the hallway, and the hallway is just information too. The information is that one of the portraits is missing, and that happens to be Max's portrait. He knows that Max's portrait. He knows what happened to him. So basically, when they caught him, they took his magic and stuck it inside the portrait. Now they didn't put him inside the portrait, but they stuck his magic inside the portrait, and they left it there in the Hall of Fame so that the wizards in the university could keep an eye on it. And then so when he goes back there, he notices it's gone, and then he's looking at the other portraits, and they have the shocked look on their face instead of just looking like a normal portrait. It's like something happened to him, and I don't know if he figures out or realizes that they're trapped in the paintings or not, but maybe there's a strong hint because the magic was trapped, so the magic is gone because he's got the painting. and the expressions changed. It only changed to Hubert though. The player or the reader wouldn't have any idea other than how Hubert reacts. So um, so I have to figure out, okay, so how do I reveal this to the player? It's like exposition, right? Usually in a movie and even in a game, usually in a movie it's show don't tell, right? So in other words, some movies you have where the characters talk about their past and they're just talking to each other about their past, and you're kind of bored. And the better ones actually kind of show it. They'll show it in flashbacks. They'll show it via dialogue that doesn't actually that more or less doles out information. So it's not like this big long speech or this big long conversation about what happened. So that you can piece it together. So in a game, it would be more like, in a book, it'd be like, write, don't tell, or something. What you'd have a little bit more leeway in a book because you're telling the player anyways. You're not showing it per se. You describe a scene, but you can just as well have a character describe the scene for you, and it still works and it doesn't bog down your book. In a game, it's more like play, don't show, kind of thing, where it's a big deal as being interactive. This being like a choose your own adventure kind of setup, though, there's a lot of writing in here, a lot of telling in here that you won't be playing until I get to the interactive like parser based version. Okay, so um, I might should what I might should do here is I might should shorten this text down, still remember the same information, and then have the reaction deals. Um, okay, so let me see. Not all spells are rendered. Hubert has a better picture. Mysterious hooded figure entered into uh, in the trophy room from the hall. Uh, then device in one hand, turn it on. Open a mini portal in the air. Reach into the portal. Open inside the case. Manage to pull out the scepter. Pump to the left. Uh, let's see if I can shorten that down to like a couple of lines. That will help something here. Um, okay. So the conclusion Hubert draws is a mysterious figure enters in with some sort of device, turns it on, and is able to pluck the scepter from the trophy case. Um, almost like a mini portal. A portal is just a portal. So many portals, while while many portals don't typically exist, there's no reason they can't exist. Um, and that's a narrative thing. So um, via a mini portal. We'll just leave it like that. That just encompasses everything in there. Um, uh, okay, so we're gonna add a few choices here. I'm gonna leave that there, but I'm gonna add my choices in here. So this is gonna go, and then this other thing's gonna go here. And okay, so hit 1 if let's see. Okay, so he suspects that it's going to be Max, right? He's not in the hallway yet, so he doesn't know for sure. But he suspects it's Max, and here, let me go back to ChatGPT to see to remember how it kind of showed it. Hubert suspects this is Max's style. Okay. It says Max written all over it. Since started suspecting where this trail would lead, he turned toward the Hall of Fame. Just a sec. Okay. Hubert hit 1. As Hubert suspects that this is let's see, how do I say it? Max's style. But how do I introduce Max to the player? I mean, how do I do it? How do I do it like a quick statement, right? Like oh, I can turn my desktop back on. That's cool. And my mic is on still. Okay, good. Okay, so okay, so he suspects this is Max's style, or that this is Max's MO or whatever. I guess I'll just do it like this. If Hubert suspects that this could be the work of Maximilian Spell, who was banished for attempting to conquer other realms. Because basically the backstory is he tried something similar in the past that led to his banishment. He didn't have a big machine. He didn't have this big machine. Right. In fact, he didn't even have the device, so he was actually using regular portal magic to do it. He was getting things ready in order to open several portals that probably his generals or something would have went with their own piece of Quicksilver and would have opened up, and he'd have multiple armies, and look at the stars, bold King Cole. Devil readout here. Been seeing some stuff you've been doing. Well, welcome to the stream, Lecco to stars, or is Bold King Cole your name, or I don't know. Like what? Okay, so what should I call you? I guess I should say. You know, everybody has a different name, and so sometimes it's hard to pronounce some certain names, and then some others. Anyways, doesn't matter. But it's cool. Welcome to the stream, and yeah. So it's kind of funny because this time I decided not to I decided not to post the link to Discord or IRC or X just today, just to see how many people would actually come in here. In fact, let me check something here. YouTube, of course. That's cool. Well, it says only one watching now, so presumably that's you. Um, and then we have how many? We still have two in Rumble. That's cool. Okay. Anyways, uh, yeah. So glad you joined. Of course. So I used to do like one long stream about three to 4 hours depending on the day, and what I decided to split it up. So I now I do part one and then I break for an hour and then I come and do part two. And part one I'm usually doing the actual game part. The story this is some story stuff in here, and then for part two I will actually be working on the layout tool, which is here. I can actually let's just I'll say wait a second. Make sure we're over here. I'll save this and then I'll show you the actual the quote unquote layout tool. So now this is interesting. It did not save like it's supposed to have saved. Let me close that out and let me rerun it. Okay, well I guess that's working then. At least for right now, it's working. Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna add all this functionality in there where I get to edit the rooms and all that. But I'll be doing that in the second half, which will be about it's almost 1 o'clock Eastern time here, and so I'll be starting that on at around 2 Eastern time. So I don't know where your location is, but um, anyways, yeah. So welcome to the stream, and so I'll be starting that on what happened to my screen there? What the heck happened? I'm still here, okay here, but the screen went blank for some reason. Why did it go blank? I wonder if, hmm, that's weird. And now I only have two viewers. I don't, yeah, I don't, it's weird. Something happened. Okay, whatever. I don't know who's still watching and who's not watching and stuff. So, whatever technical difficulties, apologies. Okay, so I'm doing these in phases, and this first phase is a choose your own adventure style. It's going to be the same game, same story throughout the thing, and then I'm gonna each phase I'm gonna add stuff on it to make it more interactive, then add graphics and so forth. So, but right now it's just a pure like choose your own adventure style kind of thing. And so I'm looking at a couple of pages where I have some information to give to the player slash reader because mostly you just mostly reading this right at the moment. Um, and okay, so so this all encompasses that. Hit one if he suspects that this could be the work of Maximilian Spell, who was banished for attempting to conquer other realms. Okay. Uh, hit two if he were. Maybe I should. Okay. Uh, okay. Hit two if Hubert thinks only someone with the intelligence um, only someone with the intelligence of Maximilian Bell, who was previously banished, could do something like this. Three, if yeah, what would be a third option? I'm trying not to copy ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT to bounce ideas off of, but I'm trying not to copy it directly too much. Um, if Hubert is annoyed by the thought that it could be someone whom he hopes it's not. And I guess this sounds kind of dumb here. Hit 3 if Hubert's annoyed by the thought that it could be someone whom he hopes it is not, or it's not. So this all leads to the same thing. It's Max because it's gonna be confirmed in the next page. So um and this is not quite right. Here, let's do this a little bit different. Hit one if Hubert suspects thinks here thinks this looks like the same work of a it looks like the work of a previously vanished sorcerer. Um, hit 2 if Hubert thinks only a person of high intelligence and skill could have taken the scepter. Hit 3 if Hubert is annoyed at the thought of who could very well commit this crime. This doesn't show you. This doesn't tell you who it is at first. I'm not sure if Max isn't introduced elsewhere earlier. I don't think he has been just yet, but I'm not sure. That means I have to go through like the whole first part, and there's a bunch of pages there. So in order to get here, I'll have to go through it once or twice, maybe. Okay. Oh, we got 4 people here. Welcome, 4 people. Let's see what we got. We got 2 in YouTube and 2 in Rumble. Good deal. It does mean that I don't necessarily have to advertise it. Oh, maybe it's the rookie though. Rookie, I would suspect it to you maybe. Um, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kill that right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and delete these here. And this way, he's not actually moving from the trophy room yet. He Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so there's going to be another page in between there that ends up going to. All right, and there's going to be 3 pages here, depending on which one you pick. Okay. So let's go okay, like that. Let's go to we got trophy room here. That's 21. We're going to copy that. Um, wait a second. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to copy the door. So this is the door to, I'm going to copy that, the door to this one right here. And what we're going to do here is, in here, I'm actually going to put these doors in here. So instead of, oh, paste, we're going to say 22, paste, 23, paste, 24, so, and then we're going to make this choice 3, we're going to make this choice 2, and then we have 1, and okay. So, all right. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and then we still got this up here, which I'll move it when I get ready to save it here. But then what I'm gonna do here is let's zoom out. Let's see where the thing is here. Actually, I'm gonna do the thing that I would do normally, anyways. That means that here. Okay, so let's move this up. That'll probably be okay right there. That way, I actually take this. Oh, that what I have to do. Actually take this, move this down here, so I have some room in here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 more rooms, 1, 2, and 3. Put this over here, put this one over here, this one over here. So, and then what we'll do is we'll go back in here, we'll go ahead and Control X, and then we'll go into each of these doors. We'll add them as, we'll add the same one as a door. I'm not gonna just save it just yet though. Let's go ahead and add this as a door. Okay, I'm gonna go of the impression that I have a thing that rearranges doors, and what it should do is it should move all these 3 up here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, considering that I already have it written in here, Control C. Then we're going to go ahead here and we're going to do this thing here. And we're going to put ID 20. Oh, 20, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, yeah, 22. Then here we're going to name this 23. 23. And then this one we're going to name 20, 24. So, okay. So now we have these. And we got, okay, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, that's good. Okay, so since we got that running, we're gonna go ahead and save it here. Save room data. Okay, you notice these new lines that pop up. Okay. Okay, so they all go to the same thing. Now, the one thing that I should do here is let's go ahead and copy Control C. Here, we'll do this. We'll do it like this. Control C. Then in here, we'll go ahead and edit that. Control V. There you go. Right. Control C. Okay, now we're just gonna populate this in here like this. Control V. And we're gonna do the same thing here. V like that. Okay. So now this one is 3. So we're gonna take these out. I'm essentially just kind of like labeling these now. We delete that. And then here where is that? There we go. And we're going to do the thing here, 2 and 3. Oh, this is going to be 1. All right. Let's zoom in a little bit more just to make sure I'm good here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and we are going to, let's go ahead and just edit this. It's supposed to be if he thinks, but that's all right. Hubert thinks this looks like the work of none other than Maximilian Spell. Hubert thinks this looks like the work of none other than Maximilian Spell, the evil sorcerer that was banished for trying to take over. I don't know if he tries to take over Channellands or not. Take over other realms. Sorcerer or banished for trying to take over other realms. Okay. And then this is where we say hit 1 to continue on to the Hall of Fame. Okay, so that's good. That's all right. Then let's go into 2. Look at that. Hubert thinks there's only one person smart enough to pull this off. Let's see. What is holding onto judgment until let's see. I forget what I was going to say here. It's almost time for me to be done here with this part here. Everyone thinks there's only one person smart enough to pull this off. This holding judgment. And until he's able to examine the main hallway. Okay. Hit 1 to continue to the hall of fame. Okay. That's good. And then let's go for number 3. It's kind of sad because I guess I didn't get that much done today. I wasn't really spinning wheels or nothing. In fact, I was on time today, believe it or not. I actually got my doctor's appointment just before I logged in or before I started this up, and it's kind of interesting that I didn't seem to get like a whole too much done, even though I had all the time to get it done. It's kind of weird for me. Hit 3 if you, it's my rambling at the beginning though, like usual. Here we're gonna do a little bit. It's not really narrative, but it's an expression that might only show up in a narrative. But grimaces at the thought of who it could be. And I didn't need to put that in capital letters, but whatever. We'll just leave it. Hit 1 to continue onto the Hall of Fame. Okay. And save room data. That took a while because it had all that stuff to output. Okay. So the reason I keep on having to clear out the output is because this array, both of these arrays, and this description box, and what's that S in there for? Yes. It's because whenever I enter something in there, it's gonna enter it in a bunch of times. Why? Because it says tool script and exported variable. So I have a lot of text I put in there, so it puts up a lot of text each time I type in a new letter in there. Okay. So this is one of the portraits are missing. So I guess that's it for today. For this part, which is a story part. So I want to say thanks for joining in. Eventually 4 people joined in without me having to post the links, which almost might make me think that posting the links might be counterproductive, considering that all it does is get people in here earlier a little bit. But anyways, yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you about an hour, where we'll get back to the layout tool. So thank you for watching part 1.